Parents, are you worried about spoiling your kids or ruining their work ethic if they know that they're going to inherit a bunch of money one day? Hi, I'm Jessica Gibbs from Monument Wealth Management. Have you been avoiding talking about wealth with your kids? And by wealth, I'm not just referring to basic financial literacy lessons about money. Wealth means your potential to create something of meaning and of purpose. So this fear of talking about money and the implications that it actually can have on kids' ability to be good stewards of that wealth when they one day inherit it, there's actually data that backs that up. There's a group called the Williams Group that did a 20-year study of 3,200 families looking at how does wealth transfer from one generation to the next and how successful are families. And they found that 70% of families lose their wealth by generation 2. And 90% of families lose their wealth by generation 3. So maybe you've been avoiding talking about wealth because maybe you've overlooked it, or there's fear in talking about it with your kids, or just talking about money in general feels really awkward. But more often than not, I think it's probably because you just don't know where to start. It's a really hard conversation to have with your kids. So start by asking yourself these basic questions. How did I build my wealth? Is there a story that I want to pass on to the next generation so that they understand where this money came from? What does wealth, quote unquote, mean to me personally? You could think of this in different ways. What is the opportunities that it allows you to have? What does success mean to me? There's a few different ways that you can approach it, but understanding what does wealth mean beyond just money is an important conversation for you to have. Ask yourself also, what is the intention for my wealth? What is it that I value? In other words, what is the most valuable way for me to use my wealth? So just to give you some ideas, you could think of things like building family unity, having a certain level of comfort. Maybe education is really important, either formal or informal. Maybe starting a business is important to your family. Maybe it's faith. Maybe it's giving back to the community or enabling others to have opportunities that you also had. Travel, experiential opportunities. There's a lot of things that could drive you in understanding this is what we want to use our wealth for. This is what is important to us. I like to always say that you don't know if you're going in the right direction unless you know the destination. So in answering these questions, you're helping your kids understand what is the destination or the purpose for your wealth. So now let's talk about gifting. Gifting is a common method that parents use in order to teach their kids about taxes, investing, and using money wisely. I know it feels scary to give a gift to your child, but better for them to potentially misuse the money under your watchful eye now, where you can help them, coach them on how to do better next time, versus potentially them making a mistake inheriting a multi-million-dollar inheritance after you've passed away. When you've decided to make a gift to your child, establish the goal of the gift. Remember, it all comes back to defining the purpose of your wealth and the values that you want to instill in your children. When you're making a gift, make it really clear why you're making the gift to them and what you hope that they'll use the money for. So keep in mind, yes, you can gift cash or stock to your kid, but it doesn't necessarily need to be one of those things. So one creative idea is real estate. Particularly if you have a kid who's pursuing their passions, maybe they're an artist or a musician, real estate can be a great way that maybe you buy a property, they live in it. It is a gift in the sense that you're supporting them with a great place to live. Also can be a great investment for you as well, potentially. Education funding is also a great way to gift to your child. You can set up a 529 account and put money into that to support their education, or you could even contribute directly to the school, which is a great way to gift money without having gift tax implications. And the last idea to consider is entrepreneurship. If it's something that's important to you and maybe the next generation is interested in starting a business, that can be a great way to support them with gifting. Financing a business can more easily be done through a family member than a bank. And for families that value an entrepreneurial spirit and don't mind taking the risk, this can be a great investment. These were just a few ideas on how to start the conversation around leaving wealth to your kids, but it's just a start. So if you have more questions, reach out to the team at Monument Wealth Management. We're happy to talk more about your particular family, your situations, and your goals for leaving wealth to the next generation. I'm Jessica Gibbs, and we'll see you in the next video.